Okay, take two. Sorry about that. We'll start back over on this. So, in today's video, we are going to go over our farmers market season, and we'll talk about everything that you need to bring and what you can bring and what markets provide and all that good stuff. So let's get into that a little bit. So this is our setup. This is our main setup that we did at our biggest market. Obviously, the live trays here and just stacked up and everything else for display with their information signs in them and all that. And then all our products here and our clamshells up on a wooden stand that we built. And we can get into that more. Sign here of all our pricing information. We were very simple last year, $5 each or 5 for 20. And then our wheatgrass up there. An information sheet to sign up for our weekly deliveries. So what to bring to a farmer's market? Obviously, this can vary based on your location and what the market provides, if it's an indoor market or outdoor market. Tents, obviously. If you're outdoor, you want to bring yourself a tent to protect you from the sun, any weather that might happen, rain, because, summer, it's going to rain on you at some point. And to keep the sun off of your products as well. Helps that as well. Depending on the direction you're going, you might have to move the tent around and stuff, but definitely look at that. Weights, and weights very helpful around here. It gets very, very windy at times, and it can lift your tent up if you don't have the weights, and it could damage your stuff, somebody else's stuff. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of weight. We used a brick, just a little half brick, broken half on the sides before. You can buy some sandbags, free weights from your house. Whatever you got that is a decent amount of weight that will hold the tent down if you do get any wind. So you definitely want to do that and bring that. Tables. We bring usually two, but you're going to need at least one table. And that is one table, 6 foot or 8 foot. And we get the ones that fold in the middle, so they're easy for transportation, basically break down in half. That is very, very useful for us. And then, of course, the tablecloth. This is how people were finding us in the beginning. They're like, where's the green tablecloth? They always looked at every market. So you can find them on Amazon. I believe we do have a link on that as well in all our videos. Or if you click on one of our links, you can go find it. But yeah, definitely helps brand you. You don't have to do green. Obviously, do what a lot of other colors you can do is there as well. Obviously, you need a cash box. But if you don't have a checklist, sometimes you will forget this. Not learning from experience or anything. We bring $100 in change, all 5s and 1s, because we don't mess with coins at the market. It was $5 last year. This year we're doing $4 products and $5. Or we did, the 5 for 20. When we brought our vegetables, we did do some at $3, but we really pushed like 2 for 5, so it basically stayed in that $5 range. We also keep our credit card reader in there. Charging cables, battery backup, because the worst thing ever happen if your phone dies, and that's where our card readers run on, and you ain't got no charge, you can't take any credit cards, which this day and age, you definitely got to be able to take that, and you could lose a cell. So definitely want to make sure them are staying charged at all times, and you got all this little stuff with you. So all the money kind of stuff stays in that box. And then we bring a box of miscellaneous stuff. Tape, chalk markers, pens, clamps, ropes, scissors, logo stickers, hand sanitizer, twisty ties, zip ties, Post-its, etc. You don't know how important some of this stuff comes in handy if you don't have it, and when you do have it, it comes in very handy. So all these little random stuff makes surprises on you. So we just keep everything in that plastic tote, shoebox tote with lid, so that way it's always with us and it's with our stuff. And then signage. Depending on your setup and what you need, we had one market, and we're going back to this one this year. You can see here they gave us a whole chalkboard behind us. This was the indoor market, and we got to set this up one time. We were always in the same spot, and that just stayed the whole year. So it was nice. You can decorate it as you want, put all kinds of graphics on it. So you can do whatever you want with that chalkboard there and do stuff. So it was very, very nice to that. And then we went through iterations of different boards to give information. These ones on my side, right side, so your guys' left side probably, was just up vertical that was on the tent, hanging on the tent there, and gave information about the products and all the products we have. And then we went to more of a poster board here, backing with Velcro. So if we added products, we could easily add them in with Velcro and lamination and everything else. So they were very helpful on that end and be able to move stuff around. As you can see, we were selling out of stuff. Display pieces. This is the display stand I was talking about. We built this out of old fence panels and some boards and some hinges. And we've got to get all our stuff vertical. The more vertical you can have your products, the better. People are more in line of eyesight with them instead of just laying on the table. We find this helped out dramatically. And obviously the wheatgrass in there, and then our sign in there for what everything cost. And make it look abundant and full at all times. Water. You're going to want to bring water with you, obviously, for yourself, and if you're bringing live trays, your produce. So we bring 2 to 3 bottles for each of us. And if there's 2 people working a stand, we usually have about 6 bottles. Plus, we bring a gallon of water for the plants in case they start looking a little sad through the day if it's really hot, and you can give them plants some water to perk them back up while you're out there. And if you do the wheatgrass, I recommend doing like a dog bowl to have the dog come over there, because if you can get the dog to come over there, the people come over there and spend money, and they look at that pet grass as we market it, and you can get sales off of that as well. Sign-up sheets, obviously, if you want to gather information, emails, phone numbers, newsletters, promotions, or anything else you're doing. Bring a sign-up sheet to have out there for them to sign up with. Or what we're going to do this year is probably bring the laptop and have them sign up right there on site. Kind of ends the emails getting lost in junk mail and stuff. So definitely check that out if you want to do that. Coolers. Obviously, you want to keep your stuff cold and abundant. We do rotate these products out throughout the day. If they set out there, we'll rotate them out and get different ones out there. But bring enough ice that's going to last. The sheet ice packs work great if you get them, because you can layer them in there and stuff around the cooler. We usually bring the 1 extra large cooler there, and then on the 4-foot table that we bring as well. So we actually 3 tables usually. And plus a second large cooler below. It's up underneath here on a rack, on a bins, to keep it up off the ground. So we take 2 coolers with us, and they're both this size. But make sure you have some way to keep your product cold that's already packaged. Products. Of course, don't forget to bring your products for sale. But when the chaos happens when you're getting ready for a market in the morning, sometimes you can forget stuff if you don't have a checklist. So highly recommend that. Things are stored in different areas sometimes, and you know how things are. So make sure that you have that checklist and you remember everything else. So we make a list and post notes if something is stored away from different items. Whatever system, you can make sure that you bring everything. When you bring additional items, when we do that, we do lettuce as well, herbs, we do eggs, beets, radishes during the market seasons as well. So you want to make sure you remember to grab all that stuff. We have a list of inventory that we're bringing so we can keep accurate counts when we come back. So we have a spreadsheet that we keep track of everything that we're bringing. When we get home, we do an inventory and we know what we sold. So that way you can better accurate for the next market. If you're cutting live trays, hand washing station you're going to need. At least here you have to have it, and I would assume this is probably everywhere. So you got to have a cooler with a drain bucket, paper towels, soap, a small table for this bucket to set on separately from everything else. Cleaning cloth towels for cleaning, sanitizer buckets, the sanitizer tablets or sanitizer solution of some kind. Bleach works as well. Test strips, and we bring 2 knives in case you drop one or whatever happens. You always want to have a backup of that, and obviously gloves. Scales may be needed and inspected or certified depending on your market requirement. They do require here to have a certified scale and get that little tag you have to pay for. To know your scale is accurate, so you're not cheating anybody. In racks for both display and live trays, you can do this in many ways. You can bring a whole rack, or you can bring like bins that we did and set them on like that. So many different ways you can display. We are going to be experimenting in our next market with this, putting full size 72-inch, the racks we set the microgreens on now in a grow room, and bring that for back display and see if that works out and gets a better display. So this is a picture of the hand washing station. Don't have a picture of our actual one, but this is exactly how we set it up. Just like that. with the soap over there. Actually, our soap goes on our bucket. We bought a 5-gallon bucket that's designed for that. So the soap's right there on the side of it, and then the paper towels, and then the bucket for underneath for the gray water. And then you got the test strips you want to have, your cloths, your buckets. If you have a red bucket and the health department comes around and checks on you, they're going to love you for that because you already got that set up. So look into that. Extras that you could bring, a laptop, tablet, if you want people to directly sign up. Dog watering bowl that I talked about earlier, business cards. If you want to give out business cards, we just give the information sheet is the only thing we give out because it has all the information on it about our products, us, and everything else. So this is a picture of our information sheets. We have 2 different ones. Now we just print on both sides. So you have a how to use. These are reversible. So the information's on the back, the information's on the front. So how to use microgreens, give them a little information about that, and then all our information of our products broken out and what the nutritional values and all that stuff is. So that's what we, in general, bring to the farmer's market, and kind of what we run through with the checklist that we have and everything else. So, yeah, that's our farmer's market setup. Thanks for listening to that, and we will be getting over to our live question and answer time. If you have any questions, just go ahead and comment on them if you do. And we'll get that going here. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? And welcome to the stream. And we'll be going over questions and bringing them up here on the screen. If you're the first time here, welcome. Appreciate having you here. Hey, John, welcome back. Cash bank sounds kind of small. First few customers with 20s will wipe you out. We've never had an issue. We started out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We used to bring 200, but we just found out we didn't need to bring 200, so we just went down to the 100, and there's no reason to have that much cash on you. I think we ran low one time and got some money from the guy next to us, but we really pushed that 5 for 20 though, so that also helps out. So people have a 20, you kind of can get that from them and force that direction and everything else. So, yep, dog treats are a must at the market. Yep, dog treats, water bowl, get them dogs and pets to come over to you. Tremendous help to sell. And welcome to the stream, Brittany. Nice to see you over here. Veronica, how are you tonight? Do most markets provide a designated area to fill your hand washing basin, or do you need to bring your own water for that? We have to bring our own water. What we do is it's designed for a hand washing station. You can find them at Lowe's, Menards, whatever else. They're designed for that. Contractors use them all the time. We fill it up with about 3/4 of straight hot water, and then the rest with just regular water, cold water, to kind of get a mixture in there the night before. And when we do that the night before, it is nice and hot and warm still the day before because them things are insulated and they're good to go. So definitely want to get one that's designed for that. And then, you're good to go. We've never had any issues. Nice and hot water all the way through the 4 to 5 hours of the markets. It is heavy, though. When you put all that water in it, it's heavy. Nope, them tablecloths, James, welcome to the stream. Them tablecloths are from Amazon. They're designed for 6-foot tables. I even think they make them for 4-foot tables as well. So 4-foot, 6-foot tables. I'm not sure about the 8-foot table, but they definitely 4 and 6 foot. They make them tablecloths for, and you just get them on Amazon. And I'll post a link in, or my producer/wife will post a link in the chat for you. All right, Daniel Butcher, welcome to the stream. What benefits do we find from bringing live trays? Live trays help show the product. Creates a lot of customers' comments asking about it. intrigued. This is how you grow them. And then it also provides, a backup. If you run out of product and you've got the tray there, you can cut that tray and serve the product. Now, what we're going to be doing this year, because we're both going to be running, or we're going to at least have 2 people at each market, is we're going to be cutting live trays there. So we're going to pack up like 5 or 6 of each of the products that we're bringing, and then we're going to pack the rest right there live and cutting them live and packing them out. So we'll be bringing more trays. So less prep time the night before, more of your prep and your work is done during the market times. So that's the way we're going to work it this year. And then people see you cutting live and putting it in there. They love that. You're cutting straight off of there. And then any sampling you do, you want to sample straight off the tray. You don't want to bring samples that you cut the night before. They're still good, but they're not going to taste as fresh. You want to get people the best experience, and tasting your product right off that tray is definitely there. They're super sketchy. Oh yeah, they're very stretchy. The tablecloths, yeah, they're definitely very stretchy. And they stretch down to the legs, and they hook onto them legs down at the bottom, so they don't move. So you can actually store stuff underneath the table if you need to, and then you don't have anything showing on the floor there. Obviously, you want to have something, a barrier between the floor and anything you're putting there, but we have milk crates underneath there. We put stuff on, little small wood stuff, so yeah, just a barrier there. But yeah, you can kind of put stuff underneath there, and it really attracts some attention to your tent. Darn, I was hoping to wheel my basin and fill at the market. Yeah, I'll be by myself most of the time, and be clean. I'm sure you'd be. And some markets might have it. Check with your market managers. They might have a filling station for you. I know ours doesn't. I'm sure the one in the one town up north a little bit here, we definitely probably could get water from them. But it's at a fairgrounds. It's not in a downtown area. So if I needed to, I probably could get it there. But because they do have a bathroom that's attached to the building and everything, and faucets and stuff. So, but yeah, check with your market manager and see if they have any way to do that. That would be best. Definitely would love that. But how do you keep them live trays from wilting in the heat? The tent definitely helps. And then good coverage on that tent. And then watering them often. Just give them a little bit of water here and there. Helps out. We haven't had an issue. Now, caveat, we didn't start that till later in the year, till like August, which is still pretty hot here, of bringing them. So August, September, and October is when we brought them. But we didn't see any issues, just giving them some water. And we're going to, on the back side of our tent, we're going to cover that up with a cloth drape or something like that, because we're planning on putting a rack back there. And then that way it also adds a little bit of protection, plus it gives a backdrop for the greens to set on, so it even brings more pop of attention to it. All right. What other questions anybody got for me? We're really excited about market season coming up and doing that. We are doing 5 markets this year again. We did 5 most of the year, about half the year. But this year we're going to do 5 full markets from June to September at least. Some of them don't start till June. Most of them start in mid-May. But we definitely are very excited about doing that. Being back off, Brittany, how do you keep your packaged greens from wilting, or do they sell out fast? They sell pretty fast, but if anything's been out there for more than 20 or 30 minutes max, we rotate them out and put them back in the cooler and kind of put them at the bottom, get them cold again, and then rotate the other ones in to display. And it's worked out great. So them are all the outside downtown markets that we do. The one indoor market that we do that's at a fairgrounds is I actually load them up 3 or 4 deep on that. Depending on the bigger ones, it's like 2 or 3 deep. Smaller ones, I can go like 4 deep on them. And people just grab them, and they move so fast that don't have to worry about it. But they also provide us a refrigerator that's easy to grab from. and put anything back that if you do have an issue. But I've never had an issue. But again, it's in like a fairground building, so you don't have direct sun on anything, which helps out too. Veronica, how many live trays do you normally bring for sampling? It depends on the size of the market, but the bigger ones, we were only bringing 10 trays max. So this year we're probably going to do a few more than that, just because we're going to also be making our packagings there after we get past 5 of each variety. And we were selling around at our biggest market about 120 packaging, 130 packages. I have to look at the exact numbers, but it was in that range on each market. So we'll bring like 5 of each variety, which gets us, about half, and then we'll bring the rest in live trays. Your average day on these markets, the bigger one, it's downtown here locally. We just in microgreens. Now I'm taking off since we're talking microgreens. I'm assuming we sell about $500 to $600 on a Saturday, and about $400 on a Wednesday market. Thursday market's really slower market. It's really just building relationship with the ag department. But we do about $200 in the microgreens there. The other Saturday market that is up in the fairgrounds, we about $400, right around $400. And then the Sunday market, we do about $300 in microgreens. And we got a few other with lettuces and eggs and stuff that add into that as well that's not part of that. Brittany, how are you inviting folks to try microgreens, bring them in? My concern is coming off over pushy. Yeah. Don't want to be pushy. We just talk to them and say, hey, they come by, we just say hi. And if there's any eye contact or anything else, you kind of invite them over without inviting them over and say, hey, have you ever tried microgreens? You ever heard of microgreens? No? Well, that's a great opportunity to educate them. If yes, well, have you tried our products? We got a lot of different varieties, blah, blah, blah. You can talk about many things there. What's your favorite? What do you eat it? How do you eat it? That's a great conversation if they've already done it. And then you can bring them in over that. And remember, when you're talking to people, other people are hearing you at markets. So make sure that you speak loud enough, but not shouting at them, obviously. So yeah, they're easy to bring over if you're doing that. You're going to know the ones that are like, I don't want to talk to you, that are walking fast, don't look at you really, may give you a little glance. But yeah, you'll know if they want to talk to you or not. You'll get it down. But most people at farmers markets are used to people talking to them. There's some really pushy people at farmers market and almost like screaming at people to come over. You don't want to be that person. Daniel, do you wait for people to approach your table or do you engage folks? Well, just kind of went over that. Yep. We try to engage them as much as possible without being pushy, obviously. You kind of just want to be friendly. But, we both have worked in restaurants, both have been servers in restaurants, management in restaurants, so you get kind of familiar with talking to people, being in that environment. So, not a problem. Daniel, not a problem. But yeah, the farmers markets are great time. We got a big market coming up this weekend. It's the Illinois Expo. I don't know if you guys can see that. We got an Illinois Expo at the Orr Building here in Springfield, Illinois. And it's a huge event that they've done. Obviously, they didn't do it last year. I'm not sure if they did it in 2020 either. Yeah, I think they got it in 2020 right before everything. But didn't do it last year. And it brings in a ton of people. And we're expecting to do a lot of business there. It's expensive to go to. But one of our main goals also is there, obviously, to sell, grab new customers, hopefully weekly customers. And you'll run into a lot of people there at, like, they're buyers for grocery stores, buyers for distributing centers, stuff like that. So it can be a huge event that will catapult the business even more than we can imagine. So knock on some wood. We hope we get there. So hi, Anthony. How are you tonight? Just dropping by to say hi real quick. Saw the link on Discord notification. Yep. Absolutely love the farmers markets. We made our living back home in Hawaii. Awesome. Love this community. Yes, this is a great community. I would love to be in Hawaii at some point in my life. Never been there, but it looks beautiful, sounds beautiful. And yeah, thanks for stopping in, Anthony. And yeah, there's a Discord as well for Microgreens Grower that Donnie Greens does, that he started up. Great conversation in there last night. Went for a couple hours, 2-3 hours in there, so it was a good time. But we are growing probably for that market, this expo this weekend, right around a little bit over 100 trays. Right? Yeah. Just over 100 trays. So we're planning on doing, $20, $25 a tray, obviously, is our goal all the time. So hopefully somewhere in that $2,000 range for this weekend. It's a lot of setup and a lot of time, a lot of preparing to do it, so, and expensive to go to. So we look to have fun. I do have free tickets if anybody's in the. Is there anybody going to be in Springfield, Illinois, in this weekend? I do have free tickets to the event. Yeah, been very successful in this business.
Huh?
Huh?
That's a new question.
Oh, sorry about that. Had to get a drink. Veronica also recommend any anti-fog mat. I went to an event without making sure I included it next to winter market. Stands get exhausting. Standing gets exhausting.
Squishy mat.
Oh, a squishy mat to set on? Yeah, I can see that. We stand probably 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time. But again, that's from restaurant life, being on your feet for 10 to 12 hours a day. So we're used to it. So, but yeah, you can set on your coolers. Just bring a little squishy pillow or something to set on as well, for sure. How long have you all been in business, and when did things really start taking off, i.e. profit? We started growing commercially in January of last year, of 2021. Right? We're in 22. I've got to remember what year we're in. 2021. And we bootstrapped this very much. So profits were very fast. We bought racks that were from a restaurant for cheap. Our biggest expense obviously was seeds, packaging, and trays. The bootstrap trays was our biggest expense. But then everything after that, a lot of lights we had to get and all that stuff. But after the initial setup and everything else, we really used all the profits, any money we were making, to rebuild and build it up. So we were lucky at the time. We had some income coming in from other sources. We currently do not have. So we had some time to do that. So that was very beneficial. And then, so yeah, so profitability probably was 4 to 5 months. I would say probably 5 months to be conservative without looking straight. But I do remember we were celebrating by mid-May, we were profitable. You sell out before a product before the end of a market. Do you stick around to talk to people, drum up people? Yes. I do not understand people that go to a farmer's market and you sell out in 2 hours, 3 hours, and I see bakeries do this a lot, and they just leave. They tear their stand down. There's not even remnants of them being there. Some markets require you to stay there, and they still leave. If I was there, I would stay if we ran out, and we have been, basically ran out a couple times. Maybe 1 or 2 products very much ran out. First market I did up at the one at the fairground, I did run out with like 40 minutes to go. And I stayed there and I talked to people, gave them information sheets, and made sure they knew that I would be there every week. And please come back, and we'll bring in more product. And it worked out great. And then you just kind of bring a little bit more. Don't go crazy. Just bring a little bit more. Judge how what your time frame was that you ran out and how much more you need to bring. But I love running out of product at the market. To be honest with you, or nearly running out. That means you brought the right amount. Can we see the producer? She's like Oz right now. Yeah, she is like the Wizard of Oz. I call her that all the time. She doesn't like the camera as much. But if you would like to see her, and I think you've seen it, Brittany, you've the Illinois Stories from PBS. If you just look up Illinois Stories on YouTube, she is in that. Uh, she's the one that's mainly in it 90% of the time. So, talking to the guy, so you can see her there. I did get her to go on that and do it. So, check her out over there. Can you talk a little bit about relationships with other vendors? Other microgreen vendors or just vendors in general at the market. We obviously like to be nice with everybody. Get to know your neighbors really well. They can help you out, especially when you're new.
When you gotta pee in your room.
Especially when you're new to the market, and they can give you some pointers and tips that goes on and what things go on there. If you're solo and you gotta use the bathroom and you gotta be away from your stand for a moment, you want to be able to show you know somebody that you can trust to at least tell them, hey, he'll be right back. Sometimes we've taken money for them and put it in their cash box for them and sold products, and vice versa. You just got to make good relationships at the markets for sure, the other vendors. Other microgreen growers, you guys can work together if there's multiples of you there. If you have a good relationship with them, usually they'll separate you on the other ends. But if you run out of something, hey, why not direct them there and make sure they have it, and they'll appreciate that. Maybe they'll come back and get your product next time. But always be nice to everybody at the markets. There's no reason to fight or argue or have bad relationships. But you want to create a great relationship, and farmers markets are a community in its own. And when you get in there, you're one of their own. So definitely join that community. That was our experience at the first market. They put us between two experienced vendors, and they were really helpful. That's nice. That's really nice of them to do that. Most of the vendors are usually been there forever. We're next to a bakery. It's called Incredibly Delicious, and they've been there since the beginning of that market, like 24 years ago. 1999 when it started, so 22, 23 years ago. And he helped out a lot, and I think he's the one that's been there since the beginning as well. He's been working it that long himself, and he's just an employee that only does the market for him now. Been doing that for like the last 10, 12 years, just the market. He used to work in the store. And he's a great guy, great knowledge, helpful. There's an older lady that does apples and honey and stuff. And when she comes and sets up, everybody helps her set up and put tables up and helps her tear down the tents and stuff. It's because she's older. She can't get everything done. So very helpful community. Great advice here. Thank you, everyone. Got to dip out. About the kids. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in, Anthony, and we'll see you on the next one. Veronica, do you have specific varieties you'd like to sample off of? We sample peas, broccoli, and red acre cabbage. And everyone seems to love the peas. Yep, peas are a big seller. Sunflowers, we do sunflowers. That's a big one. Broccoli is the other big one we do. And then we try to make sure we have like a radish or spicy mix in there. So we get a little bit of the peppery spice and arugula if they want that. But really, if all the trays are there, whatever you got, I'll sample all off of them. But peas are a big hit, broccoli are a big hit. And we are going to be doing red acreage cabbage this year as well. So we definitely will be sampling that. Do you barter with other vendors? Yes. Very much. It's usually towards the end of the market if you got stuff left. And, hey, I'll give you this if you give me a thing of honey or granola. I'll give you 2 packages to give me a bag of granola. Usually the meat vendors are the ones that won't take stuff. Obviously, they're selling much higher items and stuff, but definitely that. The bakery person, when he had bread left at the end of the markets, if he had any left, would give us stuff. Didn't want anything back. He wasn't a microgreen eater or a vegetable eater, I don't think, of any kind. So, yeah, definitely barter. Talk more about the information sheet that you include in the info sheet. Yes. I will get the producer to bring it up for us. Let me see if I can pull it up. This one? Just like this? Just use this one? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it through the screen.
All right, I'll just bring this one up. Scrolling through there. So we put on how to use here, obviously, because I think a lot of people don't know how to use the microgreens. So, the basics, the salads, obviously, first, the sandwiches and wraps, to kind of give information about that, smoothies, pasta, stir fry. Really like our peas in our stir fry. You can chop them up, put them in pasta. Tell them all the time you can wilt them up. Broccoli, smaller stuff like that, you can wilt up and put in their pasta. That's what we do to our kids. And then they have to eat them. They're in there. They can't get them out. Or if you got a husband who doesn't like to eat them, but you definitely can do that as well. Our wife, it could be either way. And then main dishes. We may make sure people don't forget about main dishes that you can put them in and how you can use them, and just put a side salad on the side, put them on top of pork dishes, stuff like that. So, and it gives you great talking points when you're at the market as well. So you can actually talk about them and stuff. Obviously, you want to have your information on it. The bottom, that's our delivery website. They can go to straight link. That takes them to the back end of the Curtis Stone program. Is where that link takes them to sign up with. So definitely recommend that program if nobody's checked it out. Microgreens Blueprint. And then our nutritional information here. So this is our menu. Say it's getting much longer than this now. We've added way more products now. So this is all like the individuals, not the mixes, kind of over here. So this is the standard microgreens over here, and it just kind of tells get the information off of what they got in them. They got vitamin E or B complex or C in them, so they understand the nutritions of them. And you can go in depth with them. They can read them with you. Because it's hard to remember every single one of this stuff. So if somebody asks you stuff about it, you've got talking points or reading points as well that you can go over with them. And then this is all our salads and mixes. And here, obviously, this is the micro mix. We call it micro mix. It's the spicy salad mix from True Leaf that we put here. So we put what's in it, just the products, and then the same with all our other mixes of what we put in our products, in our mixes, what's all in there. And then the specialty items we label as wheatgrass, petgrass, the micro leeks, popcorn shoots, anything that's like not really a microgreen or a shoot. It's more specialty items. We charge a higher rate per ounces on this stuff like that we put over there. And then obviously, again, you want to put your information of how to find you to get deliveries done if that's your focus. So I hope, huh? Zoom in a little bit there. Like, I can't zoom in anymore. Every time I scroll, it changes it. So, but yeah, that's what we do. We're gonna have to put a lot more products on there, so we're gonna have to figure that out this year of how to do that, which we will be getting done this week because we got to get that set up for the expo. I hope that helped you, Brittany. Let me know if you need to know anything else. Where do you get your? Oh, and by the way, welcome to the stream, ITO balls. Where do you get your labels and your containers? I can drop a link for both of them, but we get our packaging, our labels packaging for, our containers from Genpack, which they only sell through Amazon unless you buy a truckload. I don't know, I'm not there yet, so we have to get them through Amazon, and we get them their Genpacks. They're 16 ounce slims, and 24 ounce slims. There's the two that we use, and then we got a big 64 ounce one for our samplers or our other mixes that are much larger. And then the labels, we use Avery, and we print them at home. Here, we use an Epson printer, EcoTank printer. We get the nice labels, so then they become waterproof. We use the wine labels. We just found that more efficient for us than having to buy a ton of labels. It just wasn't cost effective. For a small business to do when you got to buy 5,000 to make it worth it of one product, and when you're running 20 SKUs, 20 different products, it's hard to do that. So, yeah, that's how we do our labels. And there's the link for the 16 ounce containers that we use for Amazon there. So, no problem being late. Late's better than never. So, welcome to the stream. LGA was a great conversation with you last night over in the Discord. That was my first time on Discord and actually talking to people, and that was a great conversation with all of you guys. So appreciate everybody being over there. Daniel, what has been your best seller at the markets, and do you bring some more varieties or are all the same? I bring all of our varieties at every market, and our best sellers are our mixes, our own mixes that we came up with, our crunchy salad mix, our spring salad, our smoothie blend, smoothie booster we call it, farmer salad, ultimate greens. Them are our biggest sellers. The individual sellers is broccoli and sunflowers and peas are probably 3 individual biggest sellers, but they all sell pretty good. But the mixes people love. Veronica, is there any certain way you package your wheatgrass? I can imagine it getting other things wet or messy. We put the wheatgrass in its bag by itself, so biodegradable bag, plastic bag, and we set the wheatgrass down in there, and one bag will hold 2, so it's totally separate from any other products, because we don't want them putting it in their bag and getting anything else dirty. Now, there are some people that are like, no, I'll take it, just like that. Don't argue with the customer. They're paying for it. They you can do it, but you do offer it and put it in a bag if they don't want to get it dirty. So that helps out a lot. Yes, it was a very good conversation. And there's a link to the biodegradable bags also in the chat. John, I got the gem pack containers you recommend and we'll be using them weekend. I also use Avery labels for the same reason, yeah. It's just too expensive. I mean, you go to Sticker Mule or any of the other ones. I mean, to make it worth your while, you got about $5,000 or $10,000, and it's one item, one product. And if you're doing 5 products, even, you got to buy 25,000 labels to make it worth it, to get that cost down as much. And it just doesn't make sense for small people when this day and age you can print good labels at home if you have a decent printer and get great labels.
Make sure the water
Water resistant
resistant.
ones. Because if you even got them in your cooler and it's cold and running, and they'll run, that's not good. When you pull it out of there and you give it to somebody and they can't even read the label. When we first started, we had very simple labels. They were oval labels, and then then we used the label ones that you use for address labels down at the bottom with some information, the sizes or different stuff like that. You can get very simple if you're just going to the farmer's market. You don't have to get fancy. And you can label them as you hand it to them as well if you don't have the water resistant labels. But if you can get water resistant labels, but always recommend spend what you can. Don't overspend. Don't go into debt to start this. You can get this business started very bootstrap and go. So definitely get what you can afford, but definitely worth it once you can afford it to get the better labels. Did you find naming certain mixes make people more fixated on what to use it for? Like the smoothie blend, using it for smoothies, yep. We want to get creative with our blends and names too. Yes, the more creative you can get it and come up with your own and mixes, name them different, and it makes it your own. It makes it they can only find it with your brand, like our brand, and they can only find this mix with us. Works out great. And we sell more of the mixes than anything. The more creative you can get, I recommend that highly. Yeah. Our smoothie blend, our smoothie booster, and our salad booster are the exact same product. It's the exact same things in them. The mixture's a little bit different. The more sunflowers kind of, or I think it's less sunflowers in the smoothie, more broccoli, more kale. In the salad, it's more sunflowers and less broccoli and kale. Exact same product, just marketed different, and they both sell well. So it's about marketing. This business is about marketing. Jin's Pada, yeah, for the farmer's market, can you get away with Bole? But once you get it, you have to definitely want them because it's almost free ads. You can get away with.
No.
I'm trying to decipher that all the way. Sorry. The Bow Lakes is confusing me a little bit. But you can get away definitely because it's almost free advertising. Farmers markets kind of are free advertisement, for sure. We get people all the time that ask us if we can find us anywhere else, and now that towards the end of the season, we could tell them you can find us in grocery stores as well, and people love that. We have had some home delivery people that have moved. One that was out, she had to meet us somewhere, but she goes to the grocery stores now and buys them there. Which, yes, it's more profitable for us to get her to buy them directly from us, but it also was a challenge because we had to have meetup time and everything like that, which can be struggling. So I wasn't too sad that she was going to go to straight to getting them from the grocery stores. It's kind of saved us on time, which is valuable as well. So, and then it moves more product there, which then they're happier, the grocery store. So, but we do focus this. So on that, our information sheet, this is kind of a newer one. We put everywhere you can find us on here. So, all the locations that you can find us down at the bottom. That helps out a lot too. It helps out a lot of credibility as well. Yeah, no labels. Yeah, you definitely can get away with no labels. Less labels, less quality labels and stuff at the farmer's market to get started. And we did. So start with what you can afford. Yeah, no problem. I understand trying to do multiple things at once and typing can be a challenge. Not a problem. How are you ringing up your products at the market using an app or paper or payment processing? We use, for credit card processing, we use Intuit for at the markets. This little guy right here. This one's mine. It's got an M on it, so we know which one to take, so it goes with that phone when we split up markets. So we use this directly to the phone to do all our credit cards. It does chip, it does swipe, so it does all that. And then we just keep track of the products that we took. So if we took 100 products, we took 10 of this, whatever your whatever each of them products you take. And then we get home, if we got anything left, we just do a recording so we know what we sold. So spreadsheets. My wife calls me an Excel spreadsheet nerd because I do a lot of them. I like Excel spreadsheets. And then we record it into our QuickBooks after that. But I just keep it on an Excel spreadsheet so that way I know, planning for 2 markets out, what we need to plant for and everything. But yeah, the Intuit one, because we use QuickBooks. My wife is a QuickBooks certified bookkeeper, and so it's easy to use that program for us. And then we can just use the credit card processors from them, and basically because they give them to us for free. We do use Square for anybody who buys on our website, also hosted by Square. And then, yeah. And then it integrates right into QuickBooks as well. So if you sell something to Square, it goes right over to QuickBooks and categorizes itself. It's very nice. Less paperwork, less time sitting at a computer and putting all that information in and everything else. We got to focus on building the business, not doing paperwork. And if you guys have not checked out From the Field TV, there's a lot of great information on there about microgreens, gardening, tons of stuff, homesteading, whatever else you want on there. There's a ton of information on there. We do have an affiliate link for that in our all our content. It's in there. I'm sure we'll drop a link at some point in here as well. But you can check that out as well. Not the fees, unfortunately. The fees are still charged, but they gave us these for free, probably because they wanted us to pay the fees. But it's cost of doing business. We're still debating on whether we're going to charge more for credit cards this year, but we probably will not. I wish everybody would pay with cash, but that's just not the day and age we're in. So it is what it is. You just got to figure that into your business costs. About to make up some quails. What microgreens do you recommend for that?
What would go with quail?
Quail?
Leek?
Is that leeks? Onions?
Like to eat with quail, honestly?
To eat with quail? Oh, you're gonna. Oh, to eat with quail? Oh, sorry. I'm having a hard time, apparently. Sorry about that. Trying to do multiple things at once here. For quail, I mean, about anything would go good with it, I think. But I would go with leeks. That'd be my first choice if I was going. Let me try that first. And I hate onions. I hate the texture of onions and eating onions. But I really like our leeks. And I put them on my pizza. Love them on there as well. So, basil? Yeah. I could use basil on there. Some basil, some herbs, cilantro, maybe. No. Want to do cilantro. Basil, yeah, I could do basil. Side question: how do you know how to handle sales with Market Wagon? Also, a wholesaler, or did you have to track sales taxes yourself? All the taxes were ourselves. So take the first question here. Like if we were growing for what we're ordering, we needed 20 trays to grow, but you know that you're going to have like 5 containers of broccoli left or 3 out of that tray. That's what we'd be make available on Market Wagon. We didn't do that at first, obviously, because Market Wagon was one of our first sales that we did. And we were just growing and then selling on their proof of concept with Market Wagon. But then when we started really growing and dialing in our growth for orders that we already have, we just made whatever we have left off the tray is what we make available to sell. Like we're growing Wheatgrass in 5x5s, and we're growing 32 5x5s because we grow them 8 at a time. But we've sold 28 of them to customers. We have 4 available for Market Wagon. Like broccoli, if you have 3 containers you can make out of a tray that you have left, you do that. I don't make trays just for Market Wagon because you don't know if it's going to sell, and you don't know all the way up to the night before, 2 nights before delivery. So, like, we delivered Market Wagon on Thursday, and Tuesday night it ends at midnight. So, but we just make what is available that we have extra. We're already going by there, so it's just kind of an extra stop. Sales is this gross sales minus delivery fee? That's for the accountant kind of purpose. So it's this gross sale minus the delivery fee is what we do.
That was for her.
Welcome, Daniel, to the stream. Dylan, sorry. I'm trying to read comments and read names. Not smart to do. Welcome to the stream, and yeah, welcome. We're just all hanging out and talking microgreens. Or anything else you guys want to talk about. I am an open book. Family, chickens, farming, market farming, which we'll have more videos coming out about that as that season starts, so be looking for that. And do you have tax included in your sales price at the farmer's market? Yes. We basically sold at $5, but it was $4.95 is what our list price is. And then that 1% tax brings it up to $4.99 and some change, decimals at that. But one of our governor's tactics to try and win re-election this year is to take taxes off of all grocery sales. So the 1% tax went away the beginning of this year, or shortly after, but I think he retroacted it to the beginning of the year. So there's no sales tax on food items here in Illinois anymore. So currently, I'm sure it'll change. So this year we do not have to keep track of that, so that helps. Do you have a minimum for cards? We do not. They buy a $5 item, we take it. I have a hard time turning money down. Yeah, they don't want to buy something else. So the little bit of fee does eat into a little bit, but I'm still getting more if I sell it to them with the credit card fee as I do for wholesaling. So it still works out. Leeks is a great ideal. I was, if I
I would if I was
growing it right now. Well, what are you growing? That's a good question. What is everybody growing right now? What are you growing? What can we decide to put on your quail? Just getting started. Was wondering if you had any automatic watering system. It's a bit much of a task coming water and taking it off at the weekend. Yeah, it's hard to take time off. We do all. You can see here. We do all bottom watering, 7 days a week, every day, and stuff. But I am looking into automatic watering when we move from our current location, which is the house. If we move to the garage more, taking up more space of that, or if we move to a warehouse or something like that, we will probably go to automatic watering. But I had a good conversation with LGA Microgreens last night in Discord, and he is doing an automatic watering system, and he has some great knowledge of that. I don't know if he's still on here or not, but if you are, you can chime in. And if you want to come and talk about your automatic watering system, I can add you to the stream if you would like. I can give you a link, and you can add to the stream. I was going to, and if anybody wants to join the stream and come on and ask their question live, I am going to put a link in here and see how this works. Haven't tried this before. But yeah, you can come on live and ask questions on live, and we can have a conversation face to face if you have a webcam, if you would like. This is kind of my overtime area. We're on the hour, and I don't have a problem staying. So kind of going to do that, see how it works out. Have you had any issues with Azure sunflower seeds? I've really had poor germination with similar batches. A lot I had with True Leaf. I hear really bad information about True Leaf. I'll be honest, we never had True Leaf sunflower seeds because when we started, we didn't have any option of that. So we went straight to Azure standard, and we haven't had no problem. They do come in a little dirty, but when you soak them and then rinse them off, they're fine. It's just the dust from the sunflowers. And there are some sticks and woods in there, but they're organic. So you're going to have that with that because they're not processing them or doing anything. So you're going to have that. I love them. I've had zero problems with them.
4 days of germination.
But we do 4 days of germination on them versus 3. It seems to work a lot better. That's something new we've been doing. So, yeah. I highly recommend them. I'm just getting started with my setup. Logan, welcome to stream. I don't think I've seen you comment. Welcome. I need to call local and see the regulations. Yeah, I do recommend that. Your first call should be to your health department first, and make sure they understand what microgreens are. Our local health department did understand them and actually was training people at our stand that work for the health department of what they are and the fact that they're not sprouts and you don't have to, there's not as many regulations on them, blah, 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 blah. So make sure they understand what the microgreens are. They're not sprouts. You're not doing them in water. They're produce. Just like you're harvesting lettuce outside. It's the same thing. So hopefully your health department understands that. You want to make sure you stay underneath the ag department. They're much easier and friendlier to work with. Although our health department's pretty good. So, real talk though, are you eating your microgreens, salad and smoothies every day? Yes. You can check out our Instagram, Itty Bitty Micro Farm. You can look that up. We post almost daily of what we're eating on there. I had salmon the other night with leeks on it with a side salad of our crunchy salad mix. So yeah, eating them all the time. I eat a lot of eggs in the morning because we do have chickens that are really fresh eggs, but I put broccoli in them, kale in the eggs. So every day I'm eating microgreens. I'm a big believer in that. We have a lot of health issues on my side of the family, both sides. of cancer and heart disease and stuff like that. So that's the reason why we started eating microgreens and getting into this business. So, yeah. Brittany is growing broccoli, radishes, peas, sunflowers, and starting salad mix and popcorn. I love popcorn. I got popcorn in there in blackout behind me somewhere. It's in the purple trays. No, them are leaks on that side. They're in the last day of blackout. And then up above me, right up there, this got blackout domes. If you guys have been to the stream before, that was a blackout room back there. It's now germination because we need more room. And we got blackout domes for our popcorn now. So, yeah. Logan is doing radish, kohlrabi, cabbage, sunflowers, and broccoli, arugula, kale. We're growing all that besides kohlrabi and cabbage, but we're doing cabbage next is our next order of seeds to come in. We'll be doing them. Basil, cilantro, cress. Cress is also on our list. We haven't started yet, but we will be. Spicy salad mix, broccoli, shards, carrots, peas, beets, wasabi mustard, and nasturtiums. Carrots. I would go. Carrots microgreens would go really good with the quail. I think that would taste good. That would be my recommendation of what you're growing. Do your cats like peas or sunflowers better? My cats like the wheatgrass the most. They really don't like anything else. Haven't got them to eat them. Huh? Yeah, chicken. Our cats want chicken and wheatgrass. Pretty much it. It's kind of funny since we have chickens and cats want to eat chicken all the time, but yeah. Can't do the stream tonight, but definitely in the future. Sounds good. I will be doing that probably every time after the hour mark, inviting anybody who wants to come on live. Definitely going to do that from now on. Going to try it out anyway. It's the plan. Logan, I'm getting 50 pounds of sunflower seeds for $20. Huh? Always look local first. Yeah, if you can buy them local, 100%. Just make sure they're food grade for human consumption and not bird food. It's just not tested. It's not something that's tested. I don't recommend it, but it's your business. Do what you want if you are doing that. But I couldn't consciously do the bird feed for growing for human consumption. Jen is growing radishes, rainbow, and China rose, and daikon as well. Okay, nice. I'm in the process of setting up my automatic watering system. Perhaps we can talk about it in the future episodes. Yeah. I would love to talk to somebody about their automatic watering system because I want to see what they're doing and learn. I'm still skeptical about it. And I want to see real world stuff on it. You know, the company selling it, obviously they're going to tell you the best of everything. So. Health is wealth. Yep, 100%. Got to try to keep your health up. We didn't get sick the last 2 years. At all. With everything going on, so. Oh, sunflowers too. Yeah. If you're just starting out, don't grow sunflowers until you get more experience because they're a pain in the butt. Side note. Veronica is growing parsley, cilantro, basil, arugula, spicy, and a mild mix of broccoli, sunflowers, and peas. That's nice. I like that. I tried the basil. I did not like the height of it, so didn't do that. Our cilantro grows really well. Love the cilantro. I did a cilantro trial of different ways of growing it. I did a video on that. You guys can check that out if you like. But if you're already growing it, you're probably good. Are you going to ever look into certified naturally grown or USDA organic? Yes, if we get big enough. It costs like $10,000 to get certified organic. And they say they will give you like $2,500 back or something like that, but you have to pay the $10,000 up front, and then they'll give it back to you once you're certified, and they go through the process. That is just not an expense that we have available at this point in time. So Where do you find them huge blackout domes? Them ones we made. Spray painted outside of a clear dome and made them. Don't spray the inside.
Bootstrap sandals.
But you can check out our links, and we do have bootstrap ones on order. We just had to make a fast thing, but they should be here in the next day, a few days or so. So we had to make but bootstrap makes them. You can check out our links on that. And they're like $13 a piece, but which is we paid probably more than that to make them with the spray paint, and then were $7 and used a whole can of spray paint on them. So we roughly were about $13. So just buy them from Bootstrap. I just had to do something real fast because we needed room for germination. Because all of that racks right there were completely full yesterday. They're now over in the grow room. So yeah, that was all completely full. So I had to do that. Have you experienced any bad odors from your grow room? No. We keep the humidity down and great airflow. You can see that in our farm tour video if you want to look at that. We keep great airflow, 2 fans blowing on either end, so it circulates the air. And then dehumidifier, we keep it at about 40. I do need to get a second one. This one is running hard right now. So I need to get a second one to relieve some pressure off of this dehumidifier a bit. Your pups are obsessed with sunflowers. I've seen a lot of dogs want to eat them at the markets. Take them off and sample them. So yeah, dogs for sure. Cats, not so much for us. We have Bengal cats, so they're very picky, finical brats. Logan, what is your best way to explain to your friends on how to eat microgreens without going full nerd on them? To take that question, I use the 5 S's. Soup, salad, smoothies. Oh God, brain fart. Sandwich. Stir fry. So them are the 5 things I tell them how to eat them if they don't know anything about them. And that is pretty much what's on our sheet. If you didn't see that before, on our how to use microgreens, that's pretty much there. So it's salad, sandwiches, wraps, smoothies, pasta, stir fry, soups. Yeah. Carrot it is. Awesome. Enjoy your quail with carrots. How much were you asking about blackout, or how much back? If you could elaborate on that if you got time. Got your blackout for Bootstrap Farms? Yeah, they're bootstrap it all the way. Highly recommend them. Have links obviously for them. They've been great. We did some, as you can see, deeper, the flimsier trays when we were doing personal use. I can't imagine doing this many microgreens with doing the flimsy or even the deep ones. Can't do it. Shallow microgreen trays for sure. Where are you getting your cilantro? True Leaf. It's where we get most of our seeds from. I've had great success with True Leaf. I know a lot of people have not. Have complaints, but I haven't had any issues. And they germinate well up to 6 months. Very well. Still have 75 pounds. I'm assuming of this cilantro. From cilantro. We ran out and need a new source, yeah. True Leaf is good. I like True Leaf. You can check out our links if you want to. I like them. I've had great use of them. And they just bought Kilozalo too, right? Yep. Or partner with them, and they're doing their distributing or something like that. But yeah, basically they bought them or partnered with them. I do a tray of red garment amaranth and spread it across the top of our mixes. The color really pops and gets attention. Yeah, amaranth is great for that. It's definitely a garnish that really pops. So yeah, great for chefs, great for restaurants. They really love that. Do you have a link for your printer? I can get you one. big, flimsy, good for wheatgrass. The 5x5s.
Like the big deep ones you put the 5x5s on.
Yeah. I've had no issues with them. That's what we use. The 5x5 from True Leaf Market for the wheatgrass. They're cheap. They hold up well. We fill them all the way up soil, and they hold good. So, yeah, no problems. It's True Leaf a monopoly. Been getting my biggest question since day one. They're getting close. We do still have mums out of Canada. It just takes forever for us to get seeds from them. You're 3-4 weeks, so you got to plan out. We do get our fava beans from mums, and they work great. But we did have a batch of that were bad fava beans, but I do think them ones were for True Leaf, so we switched to mums on them, and we've had great success with the mums fava bean ones. But everything else from True Leaf has been working great. So 1020, yeah, 1020 trays. Yep, everything's 1020.
Deep 1020s work good with the 5x5.
Yeah, the deep 1020s work great with the 5x5s as well. They set in there nice. That's what we use to transport them. I do grow them in the shallow, just so watering wise. But when we take them to the markets, we usually transfer them over into the deep shallow. But you could probably do the same thing and use them, water them with the deeps as well. Do you offer live wheatgrass for home deliveries? Yes, we do. We delivered one today actually for her pups, and then occasionally we have extra. We know the customer has pups. We'll give them a wheatgrass for them, and then like today we had extra popcorn that we didn't sell. That was ready, needed to go. 2 of our long-term customers, we gave them as a surprise popcorn along with their order. Highly recommend doing that. I usually flimsy for wheatgrass prior to automatic watering. Okay, yeah. So there's links for the printer there for you if you want to look at that. It's a great printer. I won't go back to a normal printer ever again. Just having to be able to have the things to fill them up. This is your ink cartridges. You know, the ink, it's an inkjet, so these just fill up. Ooh, try to get out of the light. Don't know which way to go. Everything's backwards. So yeah, definitely recommend the Epson. Just easy to fill them up. Josh, what? Oh, that disappeared. What size seasoning bags are you buying now? The biggest they got. Every order I do, I order 5 bags of 25 pounds of peas. No matter what I'm ordering, peas are our biggest volume, so I'm always got peas stocked up. And then 25 pounds. All of them are 25 pounds. That's, if I'm buying seeds, that's what I'm buying. If they had bigger, I would do that, but I can't afford the big crate of them. They do sell them in like big tub, like comes on a pallet, but nobody needs that many seeds. Ever use cocoa core? Reuse the core? No. Yes. I'm actually getting. There will be a video out about this soon of how do we reuse our microgreen scraps of our soil after it's wasted. Sure, you can do the same thing with the core. So we use it as compost bins. Chickens help turn it over, and then we put it in our garden actually. So, but not for microgreens. I don't reuse it for microgreens. Do you ever give them 5x5 tray with wheatgrass when you sell it? Yeah, we give them the whole tray. Yeah, when we sell it, they get the tray. They get the whole 5x5. The whole little container goes to them. And we tell them if they want to keep it alive longer, just put it on a saucer or something, put it in a window, and give it a little bit of water every day. Not much. But yeah, that's exactly how we sell it. I'm going to show you one. The producer is getting me one.
It's kind of wet.
It's really wet right now. We just watered them, I guess. But, and we give them the whole tray, the whole 5x5. You can see the roots in there that comes through there really well as I pour water on myself. But yeah, we give them this. We put the label on it right out here. We got a little label that we put on it for the wheatgrass, and they get this whole thing. And we sell these a lot to grocery stores. They're very profitable for us in the grocery stores. selling. Never thought I'd sell this much wheatgrass to grocery stores, but we're selling 64, 70, 72 5x5s in total to grocery stores every week. I was going to order literally a ton of piece. It was less than a pound, yeah. Yeah, if you could order that, that's the best way to go. And they do sell them like that. True Leaf does as well, I do believe. But I'm not sure how they would come and deliver it to residential. Do I need a forklift? How am I going to get off the truck? Is it going to come with a lift gate or anything like that? So that I'd have to figure out as well. Nope, I don't do a tray exchange. The 5x5 just goes to them. I did try to market it and sell it as full trays, and had one guy that was interested but never did it, where we do a tray exchange and it was going to just cost him $5 as a deposit. One time, if he ever stopped, he'd get his $5 back as long as we got all our trays. But that didn't work out. But yes, you can do that. That is an option. But yeah, them are truly 5x5s. Yeah, 29 cents. Cheaper than our packaging, so it's well worth it. So 29 cents each for a 5x5 if you break it down. We bought them in the 480 count. Next order is going to be 960 count ones. So we're selling a lot of wheatgrass now. How long do you tell them that the living tray will last without watering? Wheatgrass, if you don't water it in the grocery stores, it holds up easy a week, if not a little bit longer. But I tell them 7 days. But we water them really, really good before we send them out. So we give them a really good watering before they go out. I have the 5x5s too, was transplanting into a paper product. You can do that. The cost just didn't weigh out to be any cheaper on anything, so it's just easier to sell them in that when you're selling that many and just moving them. So 29 cents for packaging is very cheap. Yep, for the wheatgrass. Would you be about 24 bags of peas, 50 a piece? Oh, for the was 50 a piece, yeah. 24 bags for 50 peas, yeah. Yep, True Leaf. Oh, no. If you're doing the bootstrap ones, I definitely would get a deposit on them and get them back. Them ones are very expensive, and they're nice and sturdy and beautiful. But I recommend if you're selling the wheatgrass or you're selling 5x5s, the people don't care about it. It's flimsy and it carries good. It's not that flimsy. And definitely recommend the True Leaf ones. We did charge $5 for that. As we have grown and be able to buy in more bulk, we've getting better pricing. So we are $3 or $4. We're at $4. Sorry, $4 for the wheatgrass now. Just helps it move a little bit more. So yeah, grocery stores are selling them for $3.50, but that their loss. You know, they're losing 50 cents. But we sell them at $4. Now, we did all last year sell them at $5, so you can get $5 for them if you want. We're just trying to move more volume this year and get them. And if we're saving a little bit of money, we can pass that little bit of savings on to the customer, and then hopefully it entices them to order more stuff. So, but yeah. If you haven't yet, you could ask everybody to make sure they hit that like button for me. I'd appreciate it much. It helps get this video out to people. And definitely hit that like button for us down there. It gets the video out to more people and really helps our channel out to grow. We're almost to 500 subs now, and I appreciate everybody that has subbed to us and any future subs. So make sure you do that for me. I really appreciate it. Four is good, so you do 5. Yeah, you can get 5 out of them. I do 4. now. We'll see if they move more. I save money, so I pass it along. Any other last minute questions, or want to keep the conversation going? Nobody wanted to join live on camera. Everybody's being Wizard of Oz tonight, along with my wife. So, but really enjoyed the conversation today, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And, yeah, we will see you on the next one. We do these live every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. New videos coming out every week on our channel. So please make sure to check that out. And we will see you on the next one. Oh, last minute question here. Have you looked into nasturtiums? Yes, we grew nasturtiums for some restaurants. And they really liked them, but they stopped buying them. So we stopped growing them, but we do have the seeds, and we can continue. We'll do them again in market season. Yeah, you're welcome, Brittany. Enjoyed having you here. Again, make sure you, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel and give it a thumbs up for this video, and we will see you in the next one.